welcome back to our channel. This is the fourth part of electricity magnetism chapter. Those who are new to our channel, the other part of this chapter given, link of the other part of this chapter given in the description box, please follow. So, as I had finished in my previous class, what was that? That is, I am telling V equal to R into I. Means what? Voltage proportional to current and R is the resistance or proportionality constant. I think no confusion. Now, what will be the unit of R? Since it is discovered by scientist Ohm, and with respect to that, this is called resistance, and unit of resistance always written as either you will write as Ohm, OHM, or by this omega sign. Remember, this is also called Ohm or this is called Ohm. Whatever is perfect for you, you go through that. Now, what I am telling that I depends on V and resistance also. Means the amount of current flow depends on how much resistance offered by the conductor. If it is a very good conductor, then the resistance offered by the conductor, means opposing force offered by the conductor, is very less, means free electron can easily flow through the conductor. Clear? Now, if it is a bad conductor means it have a high resistance. High resistance means not a very high resistance. In comparison to the good conductor, it have a slightly high resistance, means the free electron can't move easily through the conductor. Clear? And if it is an insulator means which have very few number of free electrons, means it have a infinite resistance, means no free electron can passes through this. So depending on the resistance, I am having three types of things: a conductor, a resistor, and an insulator, or I can say good conductor, bad conductor, and insulator, means through which current can pass easily, that is called good conductor. Through which current cannot pass easily but can flow a little bit, that is called resistor. And the through the metal or substance through which current can't pass at all, right? Rubber, wood, that are called insulator. Now come to the factor that this resistance depends on few physical property of the conductor. What are they? Suppose I am having a conductor. This is a long conductor, cylindrical conductor. So cylindrical conductor means this side, it have a cross-sectional area. You know very well cross-sectional area means if I divide something like this, so that is the cross-sectional area. Cross-section means suppose I am having a cylindrical object like that. I am dividing it like this number of cross sections, small slides. If I divide it, so this is one cross section, this is one cross section, this one cross section. So suppose the cross sectional area of the conductor is A, capital A, and length of the conductor is L. Acha. Now resistance depends on A, means cross sectional area, length of the conductor obviously, and material of the conductor. Now let's study how it depends on length of the conductor, cross sectional area of the conductor, and material of the conductor. Suppose I am having 1 meter length wire. Suppose I am having 1 meter length wire and another wire I am having 100 meter length. So where number of atoms or molecules are more? Obviously 100 meter length have large number of molecule in comparison to 1 meter. So when an electron, suppose one electron is passes through 1 meter and another same electron passes through 100 meter, what will happen? 100 meter have the huge number of particles or atoms. They each and every one particles or atom give the opposing force, means 1 meter, the opposing force provided by 1 meter and the same opposing force provided by 100 meter, both are not same. Which have the huge force? Obviously 100 meter, means more the length, more is the resistance, means R directly proportional to L. Clear? Now suppose I am having this type of cross sectional area. This is one cross sectional area and this is one cross-sectional area. So if 100 electron want to pass through this cross-sectional area, it will be easier. Or if 100 electrons want to pass through the second cross-sectional area, where it will be the easier? Obviously, this is a huge surface area, means it will be easier for the electron to pass through this cross-sectional area very easily. Yes or no? Yes. So obviously, R is inversely proportional to the cross-sectional area, which means what? More the cross-sectional area, least the resistance offers by the conductor. Remember, more the length, more the resistance offered by the conductor, more the cross-sectional area, least the resistance offered by the conductor. I think no confusion. Very good. Now another things. If I am using one conductor made by silver and another conductor which is made by copper, so the resistance offered by silver and copper both are not same. Obviously, materials are different. So resistance also depends on what? Resistance also depends on material of the conductor. So from these two data, what I can write? I can write R equal to R proportional to L by A. Since it is the variance sign, proportionality constant, I need to eliminate this proportionality constant. So R equal to rho L by A. This rho is called constant of proportionality, or what is the familiar name is called resistivity. Remember, this is called resistivity of the conductor, and this resistivity material dependent phenomena and a constant quantity, means the resistivity offered by the silver, resistivity offered by the copper will not same. Silver were always offer same resistance whatever may be the outside condition, and copper were also have the constant resistivity whatever may be the outside condition. Means what is the gist of this discussion? Gist of this discussion is R is proportional to L, means more the length, more the resistance, least the cross sectional area, more the resistance, or more the cross sectional area, least the resistance offered by the conductor. Now from these two factors, what I am getting? R equal to rho L by A. R equal to rho L by A. This rho is called proportionality constant of this equation, or resistivity of the conductor. And in resistivity, if you go through the net, you will get there is a chart given of resistivity of every good conductor. Means copper there is a specific value, for silver there is a specific value, for gold there is a specific value. Means this is resistivity is a completely material dependent phenomena. Clear? Now see, as we know, V equal to R I. Clear? So this is a linear equation. More the potential difference, more the current flow. So if I plot it as xy axis, this is V, this is I will get a linear relationship. Students, this graph is very important. This is called ohmic graph, or linear relationship graph between voltage and current for the conductor, those who are following ohmic equation. Ohmic equation means V equal to Ri equation. So as you see that if I increase voltage, current will increase. If I increase voltage, current will increase. Means there is a linear relationship between voltage and current for ohmic conductor. I am telling very few times that ohmic conductor. There means there are two types of conductors. What are they? From that Ohm's law, we will get there are two types of conductor. One is ohmic conductor. Another is non-ohmic. You will get there are few conductors are there. They are directly follow that V equal to Ri relation or IR relation. Clear? means there is a linear relationship, linear dependency between voltage and current. Clear? That type of conductor like copper, silver, all are called ohmic conductor. There are also few conductor, those are not linearly follow that ohmic equation, means their curve might be possible like this, means this is voltage, this is current, might be possible, I am telling, might be possible that if you are increasing voltage, their current will be decreasing, might be like this or might be like this, word means anything which is a non-linear relationship. That was a linear relationship, just I am drawing, this was a linear relationship and this is a kind of relationship, non-linear relationship. That kind of conductors are called ohmic conductor. Now these ohmic or non-ohmic conductor and those who are following linear relationship, that is called ohmic conductor. Now depending on that non-ohmic conductor, there are few things I will let you know, that non-ohmic conductor also of various type. Two of them are superconductor and another one is semiconductor. Clear? One is superconductor, another is semiconductor. Now, what is superconductor? As the name suggests, means it is in a highly conductance mode. Highly conductance mode means what? Means there is a least resistance or nearly zero resistance. There are few substances present in the environment. If I increase or decrease their temperature, then we will see they will offer zero resistance. Clear? They will offer zero resistance. Like mercury at 4.2 Kelvin temperature, at 4.2 Kelvin temperature, mercury offers nearly zero resistance. Means without any help of source, current can flow through it. Means mercury does not need any kind of battery or potential difference to passes through the current. Means at 4.2 Kelvin temperature, mercury behaves as superconductor, means no resistance are there. And the same thing, another one is semiconductor. See, resistance and resistivity means R or rho. See, if I know, I can recall that R equal to rho L by A. Now, if L and A somehow it's 1, means R equal to rho. Clear? Means R and rho nearly plays the same role. R and rho means resistivity and resistance nearly plays the same role. But resistance depends on rho. Rho does not depends on R. Means resistance, what kind of resistance will be offered by the conductor, that depends on rho, but rho is a material dependent phenomena. Means 100-meter copper ware's rho means resistivity and 1-meter copper ware resistivity, both will be same, no problem. Now what I am telling, for semiconductor, the relationship between resistivity and temperature will be a non-linear. Means if I increase temperature, suppose this is T and this is rho, T means this is absolute temperature. There is a non-linear relationship between resistivity and temperature. Means some substances are there like germanium, silicon, those follow this kind of non-linear relationship between resistivity and temperature. Actually, if temperature is changing, means conductor temperature is increasing, so resistance also will go on increase. Why resistance will increase? Because temperature when increase in a conductor, so thermal motion of the particle of the conductor will be increases. So if thermal motion will be increases, so temperature or opposing force given by the conductor also will get increased. Clear? Means more resistance will be offered. But as you see, more the temperature I am increasing, more the temperature, the resistivity is slowly decreasing. Means for semiconductor, the resistivity has a non-linear relationship with the temperature. Thank you. We will continue to the next class.